I've had my Robo3d R1 Plus 3D printer for just over 4 months now. And in those 4 months, I've put well over 1,000 hours on it. So I want to give you a quick review of the first 4 months I've had my printer, along with some upgrades and some recommendations I have for the printer. First, I want to talk about the reliability of the Robo3d R1 Plus. Now, this is a great machine from the ground up, and it's very solid. Now, to perform the maintenance on this is very easy, and behind the large, very helpful Robo community, you can get almost anything done and get great advice from many people all over the forum. Now, another great thing about this machine is it's also open source, so you can find all the files on here for this machine and do whatever upgrades you really want. Now, I've not really done any upgrades because I haven't felt like I've needed to, because this machine is that solid. Now, one thing I have upgraded that really can't live without is the LCD controller. Forums and threads on Robo3d's forum to help you make this upgrade. Now, this isn't the LCD controller that a lot of people talk about. This is one that I actually had on hand from a build I did in the past. So it's slightly smaller and looks slightly different. Now, I haven't printed a case yet because every time I print a case, I seem to have a problem and have to make a slight change to the case. But I can show you the basic abilities of the LCD controller. Now, first off, you have your current information, your current temperatures, whether that's hot end or whether that is your heated bed. You also have your fan speed. You have what your printer is running off of, which in this case is the SD plugged into the back. You have your percent complete on your print, your time lapse. Now, these are mainly just settings for being in print, and the controls that you have do slightly change outside of print. Now, the first screen you have is, of course, your info screen. Then you can go over to your tune screen. Now, a nice thing about this is you have another screen here where I can change the speed of my prints, I can change the heat on my nozzle, the bed temperature, the fan speed, the flow, which is the flow rate that your filament's being extruded, along with the ability to pause the print and change the filament. Now, these are all nice things as you might start printing something and want to speed it up or slow it down and not want to start the print completely over again. Now, the next one you have here is control. As you can see there, I hit the change filament, which actually backed out all of my filament mid-print and pushed it off to the side. Now, the cool thing about this is it's really easy to change your filaments. Now, I'm just going to sit here and load it as if it's any normal print. Now, I'm just going to load everything right back in. Now, that sound there is just the printer warning me to change the filament. And now it's back to actually printing again. And that's one of the really nice settings that I like about this printer right here, is just one small upgrade can allow you to do many different things. Now, the next setting in my the LCD controller here is control. Now, this does allow you to change more and actually has more settings outside of mid-print, and so I won't mess with that one right now. The LCD also allows you to pause your print and actually stop your print, which are actually really nice settings in case you run into a clog or you run into a problem mid-print. That if you get an R1, I would highly recommend getting an LCD controller, as they really do help. Now, there are two things on this printer that I've had to replace, and one of them being the print bed. Since it is a glass heated plate, you do have to be careful. And the first print bed I actually had two filament mounts on the top here, and for some reason overnight the filament came off the mount, fell, and shattered the print bed. Now this brings up another topic, is Robo's customer service is very helpful and helped me get all through that and get a new bed on my printer within a week. Now they are very helpful and I haven't had any problems with them. I know a lot of people have had complaints, but every time I've contacted them, whether it's part replacement or just general advice, they really do help. And it is something that really makes me happy with them, as I've had some really bad experiences with customer service with 3D printers in the past. Now, the second piece I've had to actually replace is the hex hot end. Now, at about 1,000 hours, parts do start to break down, and it is mechanical and does have a lot of different elements to it. So, it's not that it's bad quality, it's that it's been used that much and run for that many hours that it was just time to replace the hot end. And that was another thing, because it fell within the warranty of Robo3d, they're more than happy to send me a new hot end to replace the existing. Which brings up another great point about how great their customer service really is. Now, a really nice feature is how versatile this machine is. I've run all different filaments on this, from wood fill to metal fills to PLA, ABS, HIPS, PETG, copolyesters. Every filament on the market, I've tried it on this, and it has not failed me. Now, some problems I have experienced is the max temperature for the heated bed. Now, this can cause some problems with some nylons and some composites, being the heated bed only goes up to 95 and not over 100. Now, that can cause some problems, but there are ways you can get around not being able to get up to that temperature. And what I would recommend is using either Build Talk or Flex 3D or Zebra Plate or anything out on the market that helps the prints adhere to your print bed. Now, being glass, I use a glue stick, but many people use Aquanet or different hairsprays and different adhesives to help the print stick to the bed. But if you're having a problem with the temperatures, you might want to go with a Build Talk or something along that line. Now, on the hot end, I've not run into any problems with the temperatures, as there are some that do print over 300, which is going to be out of the hands of this printer anyway, being it's a consumer printer, and some of those materials require a lot more than just having an open printer. Now, as I've said before, Robo3d has a wonderful community full of people that know a lot about these machines and are more than willing to help anybody who has problems. Now, any problem I've had a great experience with their forum, along with many other forums on the internet, being that this is open source. Now, there's also plenty of upgrades, as I mentioned earlier, for this printer, from the hot end to an LCD controller to new extruders from E3D and all of the above. Now, these are really great machines, and if you're new to 3D printing, I would highly recommend one, as it is on the bottom end of machines with this capability price-wise. Now, if you have any questions about this, please feel free to comment below. More than happy to answer any questions or give you any insights, or possibly give you any simplified 3D profiles you might want. Now, if you've enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe, as it really helps me out a lot.